Hey, what's happening? What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be going over my new trading strategy, the new chart that we're going to be using here on this channel in my trading days and on stream. If you didn't know, we do live stream our futures trading sessions every single day, Monday through Friday, starting at 8:20 Central. So make sure you subscribe and come hang out for those sessions. They're super awesome, great community and time together. So let's go ahead and get into this new chart that I'm using and how we're going to use it in the future. Let's dive into it. So the new thing is the VWAP Bands. I used these about a year and a half ago, maybe a little over a year and a half ago when I was on NinjaTrader. If you didn't know, I actually trade on Tradevate now. Specifically on stream, I trade Top Step, so I don't have to risk my own money on stream. I use their money. They put up the margins. They put up the risk. I just had to pass a two-step process in order for them to give me the money. If you're interested in that, it is linked down below. I use the 150K account, which is the largest one they offer. They have different account sizes. So again, 20% off, link down below. Apply to checkout if you're interested in not having to risk your own money day trading. So here on TS Trader, which is hosted on Tradevate, our friend Nam added in the VWAP Bands. So what this means is, again, NinjaTrader has this. If you have the lifetime offering, a lot of other platforms have this as well, but this middle line is just normal VWAP. These lines off of VWAP are different standard deviations off of VWAP. So in order to find this indicator, first off, what you're going to want to do is go to your indicators section, go to Explore Community Indicators, type in NAM, and it is the NAM VWAP Bands. You can just click Install. Again, shout out to NAM for creating this for free for us, for Brian Watt for asking him to do that, etc. Across the board. Well done, guys. Appreciate the help for the community. So once you enable that indicator, what you're going to do is go to NAM Tools, click on NAM VWAP Bands. Once you get that, this is what my original settings look like. I just have it based off the daily charts. This is a daily VWAP with one standard deviation off and two standard deviations off. Both are enabled. So the way that I'm going to classify this is for the first standard deviation each way, I'm going to go, if it's above VWAP, I'm going to call it +1. And if it's below VWAP, I'm going to call it -1, just so we have a common technical language moving forward, right? So we have +1, -1, +2 being this blue line, -2 being the blue line. And I actually wanted 3 standard deviations. And so what I did was I just added another one of the indicators to the chart, and I just put it as 3.0 for 3 standard deviations, enabled it, and disabled the other one. That allowed me to have 3 standard deviations. You can have as many standard deviations or whatever you want on your chart. I'm just using 1, 2, 3 because that's what I'm used to. So the second piece of the puzzle for me is that I really like range charts. And because of that, I like the 22 range on the NASDAQ. I trade predominantly the NASDAQ on this channel, as you know. And so I'm using the 22 range on the NASDAQ. Why? I just like the way it looks clean with the bands. There's not too much noise, not too much crazy price action wicks that you might see on like a 1 minute or 5 minute. You can use whatever you want. Renkos are typically pretty good with this if you have a good Renko system. Range is also great because it's very easy to see just the price action. So from that point on, what we're looking at is the bands act as a support and resistance. So if you have tuned into the channel before, you know that we use the OGC no diddle, and that just kind of helps us figure out if we were kind of on the extremity. This takes it to another level and really helps you figure out that extremity. If it is on the extreme side, it also helps you figure out different pullback opportunities, which we'll discuss in a second. So what I'm trying to do is, typically if we are majorly above the yellow VWAP, we don't want to be taking longs at the top, right? Necessarily, because we are on the upper extremity. We are pulled away from VWAP, right? Likewise, on the bottom side, we don't really want to be taking shorts down here if VWAP's up here. Just a good rule of thumb, right? Unless the trend is really in your favor, in which case we'll talk about it. So the idea is that you can short maybe minus or +2 and maybe long -2 as great opportunities. So here we see we were hanging out at VWAP. We crack through the first standard deviation at -1, and then we bounce off -2. -2 is a great risk reward trade because you can add in here, you can take one off there, take one off there if you want. You can even, if you want to average in with a micro or something, you can do that as well on the third standard deviation. But you also have that hard stop. So if we crack the third standard deviation, you can stop out if you want. A lot of different ways to do that. A lot of times, though, what you're going to see, and this is what my strategy is when you finally crack the VWAP, right? Or you crack the purple line for the first time in a while. So you crack -1 for the first time in a long time. The first test of -2, so that first test of our second standard deviation to the downside, is usually a pretty good long opportunity. It's similar to the wick test. So the first test is the best test in a while. If you don't know what that is, you can search on the channel or come into the live stream and type !wick. But first test is the best test. So odds of you getting a good bounce after it not hitting the blue in a while. So as you can see here, we don't really hit the blue for a while. We hit the blue for the first time. You're going to get a pretty good bounce, right? Likewise, on the top side, you're typically due for a little bit of a pullback on that second standard deviation to the upside, right? So if we have a nice strong move up to +2, you can take a pretty good risk reward short for the move to the downside quickly. Now, there will be times where you move up through it, right? Just like we saw here. This is like a pretty good grind to the upside. This is where it starts getting really tricky using this method. If you're using micros, it's not that tricky. You just add at each level. But for minis, when it starts getting overextended like that, you kind of got to take a pause and let it reestablish itself. Look at this bouncing action. It's just beautiful, right? I mean, really good range plays here using the standard deviations at +1, +2. Just taking shorts off the -2 or longs off the +1 shorts off the +2 or longs off the +1 if that's what you're interested in. If you believe the trend is going up, you're just riding this purple line and adding if we crack into VWAP. Pretty simple play there. If you believe that we are due for a major pullback, then you're just shorting all the opportunities at -2, right? Up here in this blue line. So different ways to play this. A lot of this, as with anything with trading, you're going to kind of need to figure out your own rhythm with it. What I'm trying to do right now is just describe to you what I use it for. And again, my major use case is if we've been hugging VWAP or we've been hugging this purple line and we make a crack and we test something that hasn't been tested in a while, whether it be to the downside, if we test this purple line after not testing it for a while, great long opportunity potential for them to bounce it a little bit. Same thing up on the top side. If we've been hugging below VWAP all day and we finally pop it through to say +2, great opportunity to short potentially and to ride a little bit of a pullback. On the flip side, if we are trending up all day, then you know, hey, if the trend is strong and we've held above VWAP all day, where can I get long? Well, you can get long off +1, right? So any test of the +1 is a great opportunity to get long. That proved great on Friday, right? So a lot of different opportunities. This is just a visual way to tell you how far off of VWAP we are. A lot of computer programs and such use that. But when you pair this VWAP up with our volume histogram on the right side, it is a killer setup. Very excited that it is now on Tradevate and that I can use it every day on the streams and that we can use it moving forward. So I hope this video was helpful for you to at least expand your brain into something that you didn't know was on Tradevate is now on Tradevate. If that's the case, if you didn't even know what VWAP bands were to begin with, I hope this video helped you. If it did, make sure you press that thumbs up button down below. That helps me out a ton. Subscribe, all that good stuff. But again, I want you to just pull it up on your charts, take a peek at it, figure out what strategies work for you, whether it be the first test on the extremities or whether it be this ranging channel action. Both are great strats. So I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the live streams every day, Monday through Friday, 8:20 Central. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. And if you don't want to trade your own money and you want to be risk-free trading like I do, click that first link down below. You can check out the Top Step accounts for 20% off. Apply to checkout. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.